Hi, I'm Jeanne. Welcome to Council Close-Ups. This morning I'm talking to Dave Gardner. He's a business unit manager at the Seneca Wastewater Treatment Plant in Egan. Where do you suppose you'd find a bum on a Monday morning? You find him at Bald Man Brewing here in Egan. Hi, Dave.
Hey, how are you?
Let's sit down and have a chat.
All right.
Dave, do you have a particular tie to this brewery? And how did that come about?
Well, I have friends that like to do craft brewing and they've gotten pretty good at it. And so I've gotten into the craft brew scene myself. Basically, I got to know these guys as they were building it. We'd stop in, check the progress, just shoot the bull with them. It's a great group of guys. We had a good time. I was in close proximity enough that they asked me if I wanted to be part of their founders club and their VIP group, and I'm like, heck yeah, this is a good time. So that was a little over 2 years ago, and we've really had a good time with this group ever since.
What's your favorite flavor?
I like most of them, but I'd have to say probably one of my favorites here is the Misty Mountain. I'm kind of an IPA guy. I like the hoppy beers, and that's an excellent hoppy beer.
And what connection does beer brewing have with wastewater treatment?
Well, it's kind of like that whole circle of life. If you look at, they pull the pristine water for the brewery out of the Prairie du Chien and Jordan aquifers, then they turn it into the nectar of the gods, and at some point it's consumed, it provides jobs for the local economy, and then they return the product to us at the Seneca plant.
What is wastewater treatment?
I look at wastewater treatment in layman's terms as we put Mother Nature on fast forward. If the river was long enough and the population was small enough, that would be your wastewater treatment plant. And back in the 1930s, that's kind of the way it was. And what we do now is I look at it as three main phases. You've got physical removal, where you get rid of anything that sinks or floats or is big. And then it goes through the heart of the plant, which is the biological part of it. And then before it goes to the river, we make sure we disinfect it so that it's water that's good for recreational purposes. We don't make potable water. We don't make drinking water. That's a whole nother part of the water segment. But we do make it so that Minnesotans can fish and boat and do the things we love to do in the summertime and enjoy what we have as our natural environment.
What was your path into wastewater treatment as a career?
I originally worked at, it was coke refining back then, now it's Flint Hills Resources, but I was a process manager out there and I ran their water plant and their boiler house. And at a certain point back in 2000, I decided that I wanted to predominantly work in all wastewater, and so I came to join the council.
Most people, when they think of a wastewater treatment plant, they might kind of go, ugh. But what do you like about it? What's cool about wastewater treatment?
Well, I know it's not probably viewed as the most glamorous job, but I figured, for continuity of employment, as long as people eat corn on the cob, I got a job. And the other thing I figured was for environmental stewardship. We put about 25 to 30 million gallons a day back into the Minnesota River, and the people that work at the plant feel really good about what they do.
What do you like best about your job?
I like the autonomy that I get, running the facility out there. I've got a really good crew. I got a good maintenance staff, good operations staff, and it's fun that we can be we're a small enough plant that we can kind of be a big family, but we're a big enough plant that we, rated at 38 million gallons a day, we process a lot of water.
What are some of the challenges of wastewater treatment?
Everyone's dealing with aging infrastructure. We're trying to do the best we can to make sure that we take care of the region. We have a fiduciary responsibility to the stakeholders. We want to give you the best product we can at the lowest cost, and regulations get tighter and tighter, and it's a lot of things to deal with, but I think we're doing a pretty good job.
Do you consider yourself an environmentalist?
Yeah, I do. I really do believe that the way we treat the world we live in today is going to determine what we're giving to our children, our grandchildren, and I'm definitely vested in that.
What do you like to do when you're not at work?
I do like the outdoors. I spend as much time as I can in Minnesota. I think all of us try to grab every moment we can. I'm more of a warm weather guy, like the bugs in my water plant. They like warm weather, so do I. But winter's a good time too. I just love being outdoors. Used to do a lot of rock climbing, mountaineering. I've done Devil's Tower, done the Grand Teton, did some climbing over in Italy in the Dolomites. I just like being outside.
Climbing. How'd you get started?
When I worked at the refinery, one of my good friends, Bill Sieben, that I worked with, was an avid rock climber, and we were talking about it one time, and I said, hey, you know, I was on a ship's defense force, anti-terrorist type training in the Navy, so I did some high adventure stuff there, and I was like, hey, this sounds pretty cool, this sounds fun, you know, get to hang from the side of a cliff 1,000 feet in the air, you know, sounds rational to me, let's do that.
Dave, you've been a really good sport. Thanks so much for talking with us this morning.
Yeah, no problem. We like to keep you guys flush in wastewater services.
All right. If you'd like to know more about the work of Dave Gardner and the wastewater treatment system, visit our website at metrocouncil.org. Any final thoughts?
Yes, I'll leave you with a poem I wrote for some English students that toured the plant one time. Whether cloistered halls or bathroom stalls, a flush is all it takes to bring to us from yesterday your hamburgers and steaks. My guys work around the clock, the lights are always on, so if you work the night shift, feel free to flush the John. And think of us in your college days as you exercise your liver, the unsung heroes of the sewer, the guardians of the river.
Dave Robert Frost couldn't have said it better.
Thank you.